Listen closely. The world is not ruled by the strongest men. It's ruled by the men who refuse to break. You think power comes from action? Wrong. Power comes from stillness. Every time you react, you surrender control. Every time you flinch, you reveal where you can be hurt. And in this world, my friend, the moment someone knows where you bleed, they will cut you there again and again. Machiavelli understood something most men never will. The prince who controls himself controls the kingdom. The man who masters his reactions masters his fate. But look around you. Men explode at insults. They crumble under pressure. They wear their wounds like badges and their emotions like open doors. They are prey. You will be different. Drop a comment right now. I control my reactions. Because from this moment forward, you're learning the discipline that separates kings from slaves. The discipline of stillness. This is not about suppressing who you are. This is about becoming untouchable. When others panic, you remain calm. When others rage, you remain cold. When the world tries to provoke you, you give them nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is power. Number 2, the battlefield is your mind. Your mind is a battlefield, and every day people are launching attacks. A disrespectful comment, a betrayal, a setback, an insult designed to make you explode. And here's what they want: your reaction. Because the moment you react emotionally, you've lost. You've handed them the remote control to your nervous system. They press a button and you dance. They say a word and you crumble. That's not strength. That's slavery. Machiavelli wrote about princes who fell because they couldn't control their anger, their pride, their need to respond to every slight. They were predictable, and predictable men are manipulated men. You must understand something fundamental. Whoever controls the stimulus controls you. If an insult makes you furious, they own you. If rejection breaks you, they own you. If criticism derails your entire day, you are not free. You are a puppet. But when you master stillness, when you train yourself to pause, to breathe, to observe without reacting, you become dangerous. Because now, no one can read you. No one can bait you. No one can predict your next move. You become a mystery. And mystery is power. Comment this phrase: "My mind is my fortress." The ancient Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius commanded armies, yet his greatest battle was always internal. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Machiavelli added the edge. Use that power not just for peace, but for dominance. Control your reactions, and you control the game. Number 3, the dark psychology of stillness. Now let's go deeper into the shadows. There's a reason why the most dangerous men in history were calm. It's not because they didn't feel, it's because they understood dark psychology. They knew that emotion is information. When you react, you leak intelligence. You show your triggers, your fears, your weaknesses. And intelligent predators collect that data. They catalog it. They weaponize it. Think about it. Someone insults you and you snap back immediately. What have you just revealed? That specific insult reached you. That word, that topic, that accusation, it's a wound. And now they know exactly where to strike next time. But the man who stays still, he reveals nothing. He's a locked vault. They throw every manipulation at him and he remains unmoved, silent, calculating. This creates psychological chaos in your opponent. Because humans are pattern recognition machines. We need to know we've had an impact. When you deny someone that satisfaction, when you give them no emotional feedback, you destabilize them. They escalate. They try harder. They expose themselves while you remain hidden. This is Machiavellian brilliance. The prince taught us: appear weak when you are strong, appear strong when you are weak, but above all, never let them see the real you. Your stillness becomes a weapon of mass confusion. They can't manipulate what they can't read. They can't exploit what they can't predict. And here's the cold truth. While they're busy trying to get a reaction from you, You're 3 steps ahead, watching, learning, planning your real move. Comment right now, I am unreadable. This is not about being emotionless. This is about being strategic with your emotions. Feel everything privately, express nothing publicly until you choose to. That gap between stimulus and response, that's where your power lives. That pause is sacred. In that space, you transform from reactive boy to strategic man. You stop being controlled by the world and start controlling your place in it. Number 4, the discipline of delayed response. Let me tell you about the most underrated skill in the modern world, the ability to wait. Not because you're weak, not because you're afraid, but because you're disciplined enough to let the moment pass before you strike. This is where most men fail catastrophically. Someone disrespects them, and within seconds, they've responded. Someone challenges them, and immediately they're in combat mode. They think speed equals strength. They're wrong. Speed without strategy is just chaos. Machiavelli observed the greatest military commanders of his time. The ones who won weren't the most aggressive. They were the most patient. They waited for the perfect moment. They let their enemies exhaust themselves, reveal their strategies, make mistakes. Then, and only then, they moved with devastating precision. You need to apply this to every interaction in your life. When someone tries to provoke you, your instinct screams, respond now, defend yourself, prove them wrong, show them who you are. Ignore that instinct. It's a trap. That instinct is what keeps you enslaved to other people's agendas. Instead, practice the pause. Count to 10. Walk away. Sleep on it. Let 24 hours pass. Here's what happens in that space. Your rational mind comes back online. You see the situation clearly. You realize that most provocations aren't worth your energy, and when something does require a response, you craft it deliberately. You choose your words like weapons. You strike with precision, not emotion. This terrifies people, because a man who doesn't react immediately is a man who's thinking, and thinking men are dangerous men. They're not controlled by impulse. They're not slaves to their ego. They operate from a place of cold calculation. Comment this: I respond when I choose. Here's the real psychology. Delayed response creates uncertainty. When you don't react right away, people don't know if you're planning something, if you didn't care enough to respond, or if you're playing a longer game. That uncertainty is power. They're off balance, you're centered, they're guessing, you're knowing. And when you finally do respond, if you respond, it lands with 10 times the impact because it's intentional, it's measured, it's been refined by time and thought. The reactive man throws wild punches, the disciplined man throws one perfect strike. Be the man who waits, be the man who thinks, be the man who moves only when the movement serves his purpose. Number 5, the illusion of control they sell you. Here's what they don't want you to know. Society profits from your reactions. Every algorithm, every news headline, every manufactured controversy, it's designed to make you react, to make you angry, to make you afraid, to make you click, comment, share, and spiral. Because reactive men are profitable men. Reactive men are controllable men. They want you triggered. They want you emotional. They want you dependent on the next hit of outrage, the next dopamine spike of validation, the next battle that means absolutely nothing. And most men fall for it every single day. They wake up and hand their emotional state to their phone. Someone said something online, their day is ruined. The news reported something, they're furious. A co-worker made a comment, they can't focus for hours. This is not strength. This is being a psychological puppet. And the puppet masters are laughing. Machiavelli would look at modern society and see exactly what it is: a machine designed to keep men reactive, distracted, and weak. Because weak men don't build empires. Weak men don't challenge systems. Weak men scroll, react, and fade into irrelevance. You must break this pattern. You must recognize that your attention is your most valuable resource and your emotional energy is your currency. Every time you react to something that doesn't serve your goals, you're bankrupt. You're spending wealth on garbage. Stop being poor with your power. Here's your new operating system. If it doesn't move you toward your mission, it doesn't get a reaction, not a comment, not a conversation, not even a thought. You become selectively responsive. You guard your emotional energy like a dragon guards gold, because that's exactly what it is, gold. The man who controls what he reacts to controls what affects him, and the man who controls what affects him cannot be conquered. He walks through a world of chaos completely untouched. Insults bounce off him. Drama happens around him, not to him. Chaos swirls, but he remains the calm center. Comment this phrase: I choose what affects me. This is the ultimate freedom. Not reacting to everything doesn't make you cold. It makes you sovereign. It makes you the king of your own psychology. And in a world that's constantly trying to hijack your mind, that sovereignty is the rarest, most valuable commodity. Protect it viciously, guard it religiously, because once you master this, you're free, truly free. Number 6, the anatomy of untouchable men. Let me show you what an untouchable man looks like. He walks into a room and people feel it. Not because he's loud, not because he's aggressive, but because there's something fundamentally different about his energy. He doesn't need to prove anything. He doesn't react to tests. He doesn't take bait. When someone insults him, he might smile slightly, or he might say nothing at all. When someone tries to start drama, he simply observes. When the world around him descends into chaos, he remains still. And this drives people absolutely insane, because we live in a reactive world. People expect you to dance when they play music. They expect you to fight when they throw a punch. They expect you to defend when they attack. But the untouchable man breaks all these expectations. He operates by different rules, his rules. And here's what makes him truly dangerous. His stillness is not passivity, it's calculation. While everyone else is reacting, he's collecting data. He's watching who shows their cards. He's noting who loses control. He's learning the patterns, the weaknesses, the tells. He's playing chess while they're playing checkers. Machiavelli wrote extensively about this type of man. He called him the lion and the fox combined. The strength to act when necessary, and the cunning to know when action is required. Most men are all lion, aggressive, reactive, predictable. Some men are all fox, clever but weak when it matters. The untouchable man is both. He has the discipline to stay still and the power to strike when the moment is perfect. This is not something you're born with. This is something you build through repetition, through practice, through failing 1,000 times and learning from each failure. You will react poorly. You will lose your cool. You will say things you regret. This is part of the process. But each time you catch yourself, each time you recognize the pattern, you grow stronger. Your emotional immune system becomes more resilient. The insults that used to destroy you for days now barely register. The provocations that used to make you explode now just make you aware. You're upgrading your operating system from reactive to responsive, from controlled to controlling. And the most beautiful part? The people who used to manipulate you easily will try the same old tricks and find they no longer work. They'll be confused, they'll escalate, they'll expose themselves even more, and you'll just watch, calm and unmoved, as they destroy their own credibility while trying to shake yours. Comment right now. I am being rebuilt. This is your transformation. From a man who is pushed around by every wind to a man who stands firm in hurricanes. From someone who gives his power away constantly to someone who hoards it, invests it, and deploys it only with intention. The untouchable man is not born. He's forged in moments of restraint, in decisions to pause, in the daily practice of choosing stillness over chaos, and you're building him right now. Every time you don't react when provoked, you're laying another brick in your fortress. Every time you pause when you want to explode, you're becoming harder to break. This is the work, this is the path, and very few men have the discipline to walk it, but you're still here, which means you're different, you're ready. You're becoming untouchable. Number 7, the weaponization of silence. Now we enter the truly Machiavellian territory. We're talking about silence as a weapon, not the silence of weakness, but the silence of dominance. The silence that makes rooms uncomfortable. The silence that forces others to fill the void and reveal themselves. Most men fear silence. They need to explain, justify, defend, fill every gap with words. This is a fatal error, because the more you talk, the more you expose. The more you explain, the weaker you appear. The more you defend, the more guilty you seem. Silence, on the other hand, is power concentrated. When someone accuses you of something and you simply stare at them without responding, watch what happens. They panic, they elaborate, they backtrack, they expose their real motives. Your silence forced them to show their hand. When someone tries to manipulate you with guilt or emotion and you respond with nothing but calm observation, they lose their leverage. Because manipulation requires participation. It requires you to feel what they want you to feel, to react how they expect you to react. When you give them nothing, their manipulation collapses. This is psychological warfare at its finest. Machiavelli understood that appearing mysterious and unknowable made a prince both feared and respected. When people can't predict you, they can't control you. When they can't read you, they can't exploit you. And silence is the ultimate mystery. But here's the sophisticated part. Strategic silence is different from avoidance. You're not hiding, you're not running. You're making a deliberate choice not to engage because engagement serves their agenda, not yours. You're recognizing that some battles are traps. Some arguments are designed purely to drain your energy. Some provocations exist only to pull you down to someone else's level. The master refuses to descend. He stays on his mountain and watches them scream from the valley below. And when he does speak, his words carry weight because they're rare, because they're chosen, because everyone knows that when this man opens his mouth, it matters. Compare this to the man who reacts to everything, who responds to every comment, every criticism, every challenge. His words become noise, predictable, worthless. He's diminished his own currency by flooding the market. You must be scarce with your reactions. You must make people earn your emotional energy. Not everyone deserves your explanation. Not everyone deserves your defense. Not everyone deserves your time. Comment this: my silence is my strength. Here's a dark truth. People will test you constantly. They'll provoke, poke, prod, trying to find your breaking point. If you break easily, they'll do it again and again because you've shown them it works. But if you remain silent, calm, unmoved through their attempts, something shifts. They start to respect you, or they start to fear you. Either way, they stop testing you. Because testing something that doesn't react is exhausting and pointless. Your silence trains people how to treat you. It sets a boundary without words. It says, I am not available for your drama, your games, your manipulation. I exist on a different frequency. And those who can't match that frequency simply fall away. This is natural selection. This is how you curate your reality. Through the weaponization of stillness and silence, you filter out the weak, the manipulative, the energy vampires. You create space for what actually matters, for people who operate at your level, for opportunities that serve your vision. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is fullness under control, and the man who masters it becomes truly dangerous. Number 8. The cost of emotional slavery. Let's talk about what you're actually losing every time you fail to control your reactions. Because this isn't just about looking cool or appearing strong. This is about the tangible destruction that happens when you live as an emotional slave. Every time you explode in anger, you're not just losing composure, you're losing respect, you're losing opportunities, you're losing years of carefully built reputation in seconds of uncontrolled reaction. People are watching, they're always watching, and they remember. They remember the man who couldn't handle criticism. They remember the man who broke under pressure. They remember the man whose buttons were so easy to push. And they never forget. This becomes your brand. Your identity, the reactive man, the emotional man, the man who can't be trusted in high-stakes situations because he might explode. Do you understand what doors close when that's your reputation? Business partnerships that never materialize because people don't trust your temperament. Leadership positions you'll never be considered for because stability is required. Relationships that crumble because emotional volatility is exhausting. Respect that evaporates because respect is only given to those who respect themselves enough to maintain control. Machiavelli was obsessed with reputation. He knew that a prince could have all the armies in the world, but if his reputation was weak, if he was known as reactive and emotional, he would be overthrown. The same applies to you. Your kingdom is your life, your reputation is your armor, and every uncontrolled reaction puts a crack in that armor. But here's what's even more insidious: the internal cost. Every time you react emotionally, you reinforce a neural pathway. You train your brain that this is how we handle challenges, with explosion, with chaos, with loss of control. You become more reactive with each reaction, more enslaved with each outburst. You're literally programming yourself for weakness. Neuroscience backs this up. Your brain creates patterns based on repetition. React with anger 100 times, and anger becomes your default. React with panic 100 times, and panic becomes automatic. You're not just losing the moment, you're losing yourself. You're becoming a lesser version of who you could be. Now flip it. Every time you choose stillness, you're rewiring your brain for strength. Every time you pause instead of explode, you're building new neural pathways. Pathways of discipline, pathways of control, pathways of power. You're literally becoming a different man at the neurological level. This is why the ancient warriors practiced meditation and breath control. This is why Stoics journaled daily. This is why Machiavelli studied composure as a political weapon. They understood that control is a skill, and like any skill, it must be practiced. The cost of not practicing is slavery. Slavery to your emotions, slavery to other people's agendas, slavery to a life of constant reaction and zero direction. Comment this phrase, "I refuse to be enslaved," because that's what this is really about. Freedom. The ultimate freedom is not doing whatever you want. It's being able to choose your response regardless of what's happening to you. That space between stimulus and response is the only true freedom that exists. Everything else is just comfort or circumstance. But this is power that no one can take from you. Not your boss, not your enemy, not your circumstances. Only you can surrender it. And you do surrender it every single time you react without thinking. Every time you let someone else's words or actions dictate your emotional state. Every time you give away your power for free. Stop the bleeding. Reclaim your sovereignty. Pay the price of discipline now, or pay the price of regret later. But understand, you will pay. The only question is which price you choose. Number 9, the final transformation. So here we are. You've absorbed the philosophy. You understand the psychology. You've seen the cost of weakness and the power of stillness. Now comes the only question that matters. What will you do with this knowledge? Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. You can watch 1,000 videos about discipline and still be a reactive child. You can read every Machiavellian text and still explode at the first insult. Information is worthless until it's implemented. So here's your initiation. Starting right now, you enter a 30-day trial. 30 days where you commit to the pause, where you refuse to react immediately to anything. Someone disrespects you. Pause. Count to 10. Someone tries to bait you online. Close the app. Walk away. Something happens that normally destroys your day. Observe the emotion. Name it. Let it pass. This is not easy. Your ego will scream. Your pride will demand immediate action. Every fiber of your being will want to prove yourself, defend yourself, react. Ignore it. Because that voice is the old you, the weak you, the enslaved you. You're killing him. You're building someone new, someone harder, someone untouchable. And at the end of those 30 days, you'll look back and barely recognize the person you were. Comment right now, "I am reborn in stillness." This is your declaration, your line in the sand, the moment you decided to stop being controlled and start being untouchable. Machiavelli said the prince must be half beast, half man. You're becoming both, the discipline of man, the instinct of beast, controlled power, calculated stillness. This is your destiny if you choose it. The man who controls his reactions controls his destiny. You are that man now. Number 10, the call to power. You've reached the end of this transmission, but this is just the beginning of your transformation. Everything you've heard today is useless unless you apply it, unless you walk out of here different than when you arrived. The world will test you immediately. Someone will provoke you today, tomorrow, next week, and in that moment you'll have a choice: react like the old you, or respond like the untouchable man you're becoming. Choose wisely, because every choice is either building your fortress or tearing it down. There is no neutral. You're either moving toward mastery or sliding back into slavery. Machiavelli wrote The Prince for men who were serious about power, men who understood that nice philosophies mean nothing without ruthless application. This channel, Machiavellian Mind, exists for the same reason: to forge men who refuse to be broken, men who understand that the real battlefield is internal, men who control themselves so completely that the external world bends to their will. If this resonates with you, if you're committed to this path, then do 3 things right now. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next lesson, because we're just getting started. There are deeper levels to this, darker strategies, more powerful techniques, and I'll be sharing all of it, but only with those who are serious, only with those who prove they're ready. Comment one final time: I am untouchable. Say it, claim it, become it. This is Machiavellian Mind, where weak men come to die and powerful men are born. I'll see you in the next one. Stay cold, stay calculated, stay in control.